Ya, Indonesia sebagai negara tropis memiliki begitu banyak spesies tanaman dan bunga, ya, ribu-ribuan. Akan tetapi dengan perkembangan zaman, ya, banyak mungkin spesiesnya juga sudah hampir punah karena kita, ya, sebagai negara berkembang dengan adanya urbanisasi dan munculnya perkotaan, mungkin kesempatan untuk menanam bunga itu bukan menjadi prioritas. Nah, Insight kali ini berada di Bali, di Hanging Gardens of Bali, untuk berjumpa dengan seseorang yang ingin melahirkan kembali budaya untuk menanam bunga, khususnya di halaman depan dan di pekarangan untuk mempercantik lingkungan di mana kita berada. Mari kita temui orangnya dalam Insight kali ini with Desi Anwar.
Indonesia sebagai negara beriklim tropis kaya akan keanekaragaman hayati, terutama tanaman hortikultura seperti beragam jenis buah, sayuran, dan bunga yang bermutu dan berpotensi ekonomi tinggi. Produk-produk hortikultura ini pun banyak diminati oleh negara lain, sehingga memperbesar pasar ekspor Indonesia dan mendatangkan devisa yang besar bagi negara. Selain buah dan sayuran, produk hortikultura khususnya bunga Kamboja, melati, dan krisan dari Indonesia menjadi daya tarik tersendiri bagi negara Korea, Malaysia, Vietnam, dan beberapa negara lain. Data Kementerian Pertanian menunjukkan, pada 2016 jumlah ekspor bunga ke negara tersebut hampir mencapai 5.000 ton. Sementara itu data ekspor periode Januari hingga Maret 2017, Indonesia telah mengirim lebih dari 1.000 ton produk hortikultura ke Kamboja, Vietnam, Thailand, Tiongkok, dan Singapura. Data ini menunjukkan bahwa pasar ekspor Indonesia untuk produk hortikultura diminati oleh banyak negara. Namun sayang, perkembangan ekspor pohon hidup dan bunga potong sejak 2013 hingga 2017 mengalami tren penurunan. Menurut data Kementerian Perdagangan, pada 2013 ekspor pohon hidup dan bunga potong sebesar 19,6 juta dolar Amerika Serikat, sedangkan 2017 nilainya menurun hingga 17,6 juta dolar. Dalam dunia tumbuhan, Indonesia diperkirakan memiliki sekitar 25% dari spesies tumbuhan berbunga yang ada di dunia dengan jumlah mencapai 20.000 spesies. Akan tetapi, Indonesia termasuk negara dengan tingkat keterancaman dan kepunahan spesies tumbuhan tertinggi di dunia. Berdasarkan Jurnal Pengelolaan Alam dan Lingkungan, tercatat ada sekitar 240 spesies tanaman dinyatakan langka. Di antaranya, banyak yang merupakan spesies tanaman budidaya.
Ya, saat ini saya sudah ditemani oleh Nir Peretz, penyelenggara dari Kompetisi Bunga Internasional. Nir adalah seorang yang pencinta alam, pencinta keindahan, dan pencinta Bali. Saat ini kita berada di Hanging Garden, sebuah resort yang dimilikinya dan juga merupakan gagasan dari beliau. Hai Nir, apa kabar?
Welcome to Hanging Gardens of Bali.
Thank you very much. Now, Nir ini sebenarnya sudah lama ya mengenal Indonesia dan sudah cukup lama berada di Bali dan membangun Hanging Gardens ini. Mungkin kita perlu tanyakan sebenarnya sebagai orang yang mencintai alam dan juga tumbuhan, ya, mengapa Nir itu tertarik untuk menyelenggarakan kompetisi bunga? Now, so, Nir, you are launching this very interesting initiative, flower growing competition to create beautiful gardens all over Bali. Now, tell us a little bit more about the idea behind the competition and what can we expect coming up from it.
So the ideas is have two parts. The first part is to make Bali beautiful by giving every person the opportunity to compete in a competition without having to pay anything. And the only idea is that the flowers that they grow have to be in front of the house. So it's a very simple concept. The second part of it is that everybody, regardless who they are or where they're from, they can have a bit of luxury in their life and they can enjoy something beautiful and they can develop their own sense of beauty.
So the whole point is to make their homes beautiful, to make Bali beautiful, to make Indonesia more beautiful. But I mean, you know, Bali is beautiful, Indonesia is beautiful. But tell me, where did the idea come from? Was there some kind of, maybe this place should be made even more beautiful? I mean, what did you see that made you feel?
Basically, I had a friend visiting Bali, and after having a great vacation, I asked, is all your friends are coming over? And the answer was surprising. They
Yes?
said, no.
No.
And I asked why, and they said, oh, it's dirty. And I didn't see any dirt, and I was offended to see somebody say something like that about home. And I was surprised, but then it stayed. And then I noticed more and more places that were not perfect. And I have a lot of friends who had various different initiatives to clean a place or to beautify a place, and none of them worked. And for years since that, it stayed in my mind, and I thought to myself, what can we do to change that? And the answer came to me when I was in Labuan Bajo, and I saw the town not so clean, and I understood it is not dirty. It is just different standard and different expectation, and you cannot make other people understand your standard or impose your way of thinking on other people. And the answer is let people develop their own beauty, their own standard. And that's how it came about.
And of course, nature, flowers are absolutely beautiful. And it's raining, but I mean, it's too beautiful.
And we need the rain.
Yeah, we need the rain in order to make the flowers and the plants grow. So this idea sort of developed into, but why a competition for the entire Bali? I mean,
actually, the reason I'm calling it the International Flower Competition is because my vision is to make it a global competition. It really brings beauty and luxury to everybody's life in a very simplistic and easy way. However, Bali is a unique place, and especially wood and hanging gardens. The correlation with gardens, with flowers, and the way that flowers is an integral part of Balinese life.
yeah, absolutely.
It just have to come from here.
Yeah.
So the whole competition have to come out from Indonesia, and Indonesia to give this gift to the rest of the world.
And actually, Indonesia, as a tropical country, we have lots and lots of different species of plants and flowers. So we should be celebrating the country by having more flowers. Now, more about the competition, who can join, how is there, what are the rules and regulations? And
so it's a very simple competition. Anybody can join, but not companies or businesses.
Anybody who lives in Bali with
anybody
a house,
in
or?
Bali who have a place to put a garden. And the second rule, it's got to be seen from the street. So we are not so interested about your back gardens or inside home.
Because you can't see them.
Exactly.
So the whole point is to be able to see the flowers from the outside.
Exactly. The whole idea is that not just you personally or me personally can enjoy the garden, but anybody who happen to come by can enjoy it. So it needs to be seen from the street, and you can join. 10 finalists to get special prizes. But the finalists, the one winner, will get 1 billion rupiah.
1 billion rupiah. Wow, jadi nanti kalau menang ya dalam kompetisi bunga internasional ini, pemenangnya akan mendapatkan reward 1 miliar rupiah. Now, I see that a lot of the houses in Bali, especially, they have, pavements in front, or they may not have, soil. I mean, what sort of garden do they actually have to plant the flowers or in the soil, or can they just put pots in front of the garden?
So one of the beauty of this competition is that there is no specific criteria, and Indonesia is one of the most creative places on earth, and people are finding the most interesting solution to practical problem. So we are not going to tell people what to do and how to do, and one of the things that the panel of judges would like to see, for example, is the change from the current state into the new garden. And it's all about the creativity, and you can do whatever you want. It doesn't have a certain size. It can be small, it can be big. You can choose the flowers and the garden that the panel of judges will feel that is the most interesting and the most enjoyable for the environment and for the public will likely to win.
So the imagination is basically the limit. So
absolutely.
Yes, so the competition is open to anyone who want to participate and who live in Bali and who have a place where they can plant the gardens. But how to join? Is there you have to register, and
very
how do you
simple.
go about it?
Very simple. All you have to do is to register on our website and put a photo of the area that you are planning to grow the flowers, and that's it.
So anybody can join by registering on the website. There's no fee?
No fee.
No fee.
No
but
fee.
Apparently there's something very interesting about this competition. There is a prize reward. Now tell us a little bit more about what can you win.
So the winner, we will have the, we are now asking the gardeners of Bali to give us advice when will be the best time to finish the competition, and right after that we'll have an award ceremony. We will have the 10 finalists who getting special prizes, but the grand prize,
10 finalists.
10 finalists to get special prizes, but the finalists, the one winner will get 1 billion rupiah.
1 billion rupiah, wow! Jadi nanti kalau menang ya dalam kompetisi bunga internasional ini, pemenangnya akan mendapatkan reward 1 miliar rupiah. That's very, I mean, why give such a big award? Is this some kind of incentive to get people excited?
Absolutely, absolutely. My idea is to get people motivated to do something special for themselves. It's have to be coming from their own heart for the environment, and it's something that will from nothing you can do something that will change the rest of your life.
So hopefully it will create a big impact, a positive impact, and I'm sure if everybody sort of joins in and start planting flowers in front of the house, it will make the island even more beautiful. How many people are you betting on joining the competition?
I don't actually have idea how many. I would want to join, but I can't.
Yeah. You win, because this is, look at your garden. It's actually
exactly.
already beautiful.
Yes, and I want to give the opportunity to other people to enjoy their gardens and enjoy the benefit. And as soon as we finish the first competition in Bali, we will announce the national competition. So we will have the whole of Indonesia participating in the next flower competition.
Wow! So after Bali, Indonesia, but the launch itself, it'll go on for the next few months.
Yes.
Presumably to allow people to prepare the garden
and grow them and
flowers.
And have a beautiful garden, and for the panel of judges to be able to see what people can create.
Okay, and who are these panel of judges, and how many, and how do you choose these judges?
So we are still looking at finalizing the panel, but we have few people that started, like our friend Zaza and Nyoman Nuarta, who is a creator
yes, absolutely,
himself.
The artist of Garuda Wisnu Kencana. Yes.
Exactly.
So he should have the artistic eye.
Exactly, exactly. So we're looking for people who are creators themselves. They have an amazing imagination, and they can spot talent.
Okay, and they are looking obviously for good variety and maybe just something interesting that they can come up with, even in a small space. Right?
And I think we all looking and wish to be surprised.
Yes, absolutely. What kind of support have you had from this? I mean, is this something that you initiate yourself, Nir, or do you bring perhaps a local government to be involved? I mean, what's their feedback?
So initially, I started myself with our team here at Hanging Gardens of Bali. So because it's, although it's a very simple idea, it's a very new idea. So it takes a little bit of time to explain and get people to buy into your vision.
Really?
But once they get the point, they love it, because the idea is that it become a global movement. I think that we have support from everybody who hear about it. We started very small and quiet, without a lot of media, and today is the point that we go out and we tell everybody about it.
And so far the feedback has been quite positive from the people.
The feedback is fantastic. People love the idea. And there is another angle to the idea that we hope that it will work very well. As we all know, we are losing the bee population, which is a very
collapse of the bee colonies.
Exactly. And all of us, all the species on Earth are dependent on the bee population. And by creating this movement, the buy effect is hopefully that the bee population revive, and we help.
And we need the bees for all sorts of things.
We can't live without the bees.
We can't live without the bees. We wouldn't have a beautiful place. We wouldn't have a lot of the foods that we eat without the bees. So the competition will go on for the next few months and will be announced by
us. It'll be on the website. It'll be on all the media and social media. We'll soon decide on the award ceremony, and we are looking to see how people develop their place.
And we will announce the winner at the end of the year.
Absolutely.
In December. But Nir, the rain is, I'm afraid, maybe we should go and look for somewhere.
Yeah, let's relocate.
I mean, I love nature and everything, but we don't want to get a cold, so maybe we should look for a place drier and continue our conversation there. So, jadi jangan kemana-mana dulu, karena ini hujannya semakin lama semakin lebat, walaupun memang begitu indah, begitu alami, tapi ya takutnya lama-lama kita juga semakin basah ya. Tetaplah bersama Insight, kita akan segera kembali di tempat lain. Lots of development, lots of buildings, constructions, new villas. I mean, how have you seen sort of the development of Bali and over the years, and the fact that maybe sort of the commercial aspect of it, and maybe perhaps losing some of its prettiness because of the development? I mean, did you see it's something that's concerning?
Nggak mungkin kita bisa kemana-mana. Nah, dia yang kirim ke gambar, setelah kita studi kan begini, masalahnya membangun ambien itu, ya, suasana yang berbeda dengan yang lain misalnya, itu kan tidak mudah. Nah, kita harus dirasakan, kalau dari foto aja belum tentu. Nah, begitu kita masuk, oh ya ada suasana lain gitu ya, yang bisa diciptakan. Nah, ini yang kita harapkan.
Bali ini dilestarikan, biarkan seperti ini. Ditambah dengan pemandangan indah, alamnya indah, kemudian budayanya beragam, kemudian ada bau yang harum, bunga-bunga semerbak, dukungan masyarakat Bali pasti.
Ada beberapa hal kalau kita berbicara mengenai festival, diantaranya kita tidak hanya berpikir tentang cultural value saja, tapi juga dengan commercial value. Jadi festival yang ada ini dalam bentuk kompetisi flower competition itu pasti sangat membantu masyarakat sini untuk meningkatkan perekonomian.
Ya, kita lanjutkan insight dari Hanging Gardens of Bali. Tadi sempat kehujanan di kolam renang, jadi kita pindah. Saya masih ditemani dengan Nir Peretz, ya, penyelenggara dari International Flower Competition, sebuah kompetisi untuk menanam bunga, membuat kebun yang cantik, yang indah di depan rumah di Bali. Gagasan yang unik dari Nir untuk membuat Bali lebih cantik lagi. To make Bali even more beautiful, to make all the homes in Bali even more, even prettier, in order to just make it a much happier environment. Anybody can join. Do you remember the website that we can all sign up on if we want to join?
hgifc.com.
hgifc.com. Jadi bagi yang ingin ikut serta bisa mendaftarkan meregistrasi online di hgifc.com. HG, that would be Hanging Gardens, IFC International Flower Competition.com.
Exactly.
And it's going to be an exciting competition. The prize is 1 billion rupiah.
Correct, 1 billion rupiah.
1 billion rupiah. That's amazing. So, Nir, I mean, we are in Hanging Gardens. What can be a better place to talk about the beauty of nature, the abundance of plants and flowers than in a Hanging Gardens, with the temple behind us and the jungle and the sound of nature. How did you find this place, and what made you decide to say, wow, this is a place that I want to have my home, my villas, and to get people to come here and stay?
So the first time that I saw this place, actually I was taken through the village, and we had to climb tree bases, and there was no access at all. And all I wanted to do is to find a little place for a home for myself.
Mm-hmm. This is how long ago?
That was back in 2001.
2001.
But what happened then changed everything. Basically, I emerged through the trees, and I saw that. And I thought, oh my God, this is out of an MGM feature movie. Mm-hmm. And I had to blink and just take it in that this is actually real.
Mm-hmm. That is the...
That pura,
the temple,
is one-off. In Bali, all the puras are built on a plateau, on a strait. Even the ones on the mountain, they build on a strait. And that is the only pura that is built hanging on a slope. And that's why it's so special. And as I looked around and understood the place, I thought to myself, it's not something I can keep for myself. I have to share it.
So you were completely struck by this pura literally hanging in the middle of the jungle. But how did you even think of building anything here? Because I would imagine it's just all covered in, well, it's still covered in trees, and the terrain's all very, uneven.
So when you build something in a gorge, naturally gorge land is very unstable because it's created from its instability. So the next thing that happened, I went around and went into the pura, and I looked at the site, and I saw a couple of things that were very strange. The first thing, it was panoramic because the river bend and turn just there, which is something very special. But the most unique thing that I saw, there was hardly any trees, and there was no agriculture, which is very unusual to have that, and I thought to myself, what is the reason for that? And it just came to me. It's rock, meaning I can actually create something on it. And
so the soil is actually solid rock.
The soil is solid rock. It's so weird that just in this specific location, and only in this specific location, it's solid rock. It's as though it was created specially because of the Pura.
So it's a good foundation,
of course,
on which to build. But how did you come up with the concept of the hanging garden and the whole architecture? Because it feels as if you are part of the jungle. We are one with our surrounding.
Exactly. So the next thing that happened, all happened at the same time, is I walked back to the site, and I walked up and down. I climbed trees. I climbed the land. There was it was fairly dense shrubs, and then I got to where we are now, and I just sat there and looked at that, and that's when Hanging Gardens happened here, and I thought to myself, how nice it'll be to sit here and have cappuccino just like you will have in place like Rome or New York, London. And 4 years later, that's exactly what happened. We are sitting here and having the most civilized thing in the middle of raw nature.
Wow. But then how was it built, and where did you get, I mean, we're basically, in the middle of nowhere. How did you get the equipment, the materials, and because I'm sure must have been a huge effort to build something like
Correct.
this.
So first of all, there was no access. So creating the access.
So you actually had to walk.
Exactly.
Climb.
Walk, climb. We had bamboo ladders. We had chutes and ropes. And basically, with the help of 4,000 people, we created this place.
4,000?
4,000 people. And one other unique thing, we only had on the whole site only 80 trees. But I wanted to preserve them. So there are two things that I've done. First, when we placed the villa, we placed them between the trees. I also mapped on a map all the trees and marked the trees, numbered the trees. And I absolutely refused to cut any tree. And throughout the whole project, we had to lose only one tree. So we created this place in a way that will have the minimum impact on the environment.
And the wildlife, and are they
Exactly.
still here? Or what
They're
do we
all-
have here?
absolutely.
Monkeys?
We have all the natural wildlife. We are interacting. We are part of nature. And these unique gardens, they have hundreds, if not thousands of species of plants and animals, but they are the natural plants, so it's a very unique botanic garden.
You have 4,000 people that are helping you. Like local people?
Mostly local people.
And the design, did you come up with the design yourself?
So I had a couple of people helping me with the designs. I had Popo Danes, architect, and I had Gordon Shaw, who is the designer and architect, helping me. And together we put this wonderful creation.
But, Bali's, I mean, it's still one of the most, favorite global destination for tourists from all over the world. But we know that there's lots of development, lots of buildings, constructions, new villas. I mean, how have you seen sort of the development of Bali and, over the years, and the fact that maybe the sort of the commercial aspect of it, and maybe perhaps losing some of its prettiness because of the development? I mean, did you see it's something that's concerning?
I think in order for us to get the true perspective, we have to remember a couple of things. First of all, we are all part of nature, and everything that happens is actually nature. So that's the first thing. The second thing, at every point of Bali's life over the last, let's say, 5 or 6 decades, people complain about its overdevelopment, and it is true to a sense.
There's
but
a lot
it's
of traffic now, a lot
of course,
of pollution, noise,
of course.
and
I also
concrete.
I also think that the traffic, which is a separate issue, it's not necessarily the volume, but the habits of how people traveling here, more so than how many new roads is needed, or perhaps not. But of course there is an issue that the world have discovered Bali. Everybody wants to experience Bali, and it's impossible to keep up with the demand. And it's a little bit too much to expect from Bali to expand at the speed of people wanting to come and experience it. So overall, I would give it a high mark, because remember how fast the expansion. But it doesn't mean that we all don't need to improve. And I think we need to look very, very carefully on the way that is managed. You have basically the ancient habits of going anywhere and stopping anywhere, and when you have a lot of cars, sometimes you get traffic because of that. And that's obviously an issue, but I think that some people even say, you know, this is part of Bali, this is how Bali is, and they don't expect to have zero traffic when they come here.
Yeah, absolutely. There has to be a compromise.
Absolutely.
But on the other hand, there has to be that spirit that, that you fell in love in Bali.
And flowers are a way of life in Bali. It's almost like breathing air. Nobody can think of life in Bali without flowers, because flowers are present everywhere. They are in agriculture, they are in hospitality, they are at the ceremonies, and they are in our food.
Part of the rituals and the prayers.
Of course.
We all fall in love with, and what we love a lot about Bali is because it's the nature, the culture, the beauty, and we don't want to eclipse that.
Of course.
With all this development, with all this concrete.
Of course, of course.
Is that, I mean, is that sort of the kind of spirit that you want to retain and be able to revive, this closeness with nature?
I think that my dreams are almost irrelevant. It's my home, but I'm also a guest, and the dreams of the Balinese are the first and foremost, and I think they largely people living their dreams. Most people doing what they like. I think that tourism is a unique business because it's very inclusive. It employs a lot of people, and you meet a lot of people from all over the world. So it's a beautiful thing. Each person have different expectation, and what's beautiful for one person is not necessarily beautiful for somebody else. So everybody find their own beauty. And overall, Bali is definitely going in this way. It doesn't mean that smart development, smart management, and smart looking forward in infrastructure and the overall plan is not required. But so far, I think that the results are proving that in the big picture things are going correctly. People love the culture. You got beautiful places all over the world, but people are in love with, first and foremost, is the people.
Yeah. Now, where does the flower competition come into it? Of course, it is now very much, I mean, it's an exciting initiative. And what sort of ultimate impact do you think it will have, having this kind of flower growing competition?
So, first of all, we have to think about the Balian flowers, and flowers are a way of life in Bali. It's almost like breathing air. Nobody can think of life in Bali without flowers, because flowers are present everywhere. They are in agriculture, they are in hospitality, they are at the ceremonies, and they are in our food.
Part of the rituals and the prayers.
Of course, and of course the most luxurious thing is enjoying the beauty. And that's why this competition have to come from Bali and become a global movement where we bring this beauty and luxury to everybody's life. Sitting here in Hanging Gardens of Bali, we think about luxury. And luxury perceived today is affluent. It's mostly related to objects. It can
material
be
things.
Material things, exactly.
Big
it can
cars,
be cars
big houses,
and handbags and
expensive
fashion.
clothes.
And it's enjoyed by very few people. And the next level of luxury is what Hanging Gardens of Bali bring. And the luxury have to be in your mind. And the luxury have to be possible to be achieved by everybody. And that's the idea behind the flower competition.
And if you have very nice gardens, I mean, that's, you own that beauty. And
what can be more luxurious than you creating that beauty for yourself? I can't think of anything more gratifying than that.
Has anything like this, I mean, there are all sorts of flower competitions around the world. I mean, how similar, how different, I mean, is the flower competition going to be?
So there are a
Bali?
lot of competitions around the world, and there are a lot of exhibitions around the world, but they are limited to one location and for participant, and you always find that there is a kind of a stepping stone, a hurdle to participate in that.
Such as what?
Such as a joining fee,
For
example.
Have to pay to
yes,
enter.
or perhaps having a track record of flowers, of growing flowers, various different things, or designated to one location, etc., etc. My idea is simply to include everybody around the world. We do it first in Bali. We are likely to learn from our mistake when we equalize it into a global competition, and from that first competition, we will invite the rest of the world to take part.
What will you yourself get out of it? I mean, presumably this is your initiative and the prize money comes from your own pocket, and you know, what's in it for you? What's the satisfaction?
Sitting here, I can't think of realistically what might come out of it when I talk about myself, because when you hope to start a trend and you just create the spark, you don't know how it will, the ripples of that and what will transpire, and you can only assume things, but most likely it's gonna go in ways you don't expect. For me, I'm happy that Hanging Gardens is the initiator. If the thing that gratifies me more than everything else here in Hanging Garden is when I see people checking out, and I see that they are literally floating from happiness. This place gave them something that they never anticipated. That happiness, if we can spread it, there is nothing more gratifying than that.
Yes, absolutely. After Bali, you won the competition to go national. I mean, how do we start one island at a time?
No,
or
I think
at the same time. How?
I think the next competition have to be national and maybe more than one country. Perhaps not the whole world yet, but certainly national, and anybody can participate. I do accept that we are not yet ready for that, and we are for sure will have challenges that we will discover as we go along. But sometimes you just have to jump into the water and hope that you will float.
Yes, sink or swim. Well,
exactly.
You have to see how it goes. The important thing is to try. There's us polluting the planet, and soon by 2050 they said there'll be more plastic in the ocean than there's fish.
Yes.
And everything. So in a way, I mean, even without the competition, each of us can do something.
Absolutely. It's
to really take care of the environment.
Absolutely. And taking care of the environment is taking care of ourselves. It's show love and courtesy to each other.
Pemandangan berbeda terlihat di Pantai Sanur, Bali. Pada pertengahan April 2018, pantai yang terkenal dengan pesona matahari terbitnya ini dipenuhi sampah kiriman. Sampah plastik berupa gelas dan botol minuman kemasan tampak memadati hampir sepanjang bibir pantai. Tak hanya di Pantai Sanur, serbuan sampah ini juga melanda pantai lain di sekitarnya, yakni Pantai Matahari Terbit, Padang Galak, hingga Pantai Biaung. Banyaknya sampah yang berada di bibir pantai membuat aktivitas warga terganggu.
Jelas mengganggu, artinya jalan kita sering di pantai ini karena jalan kan di pasir nih, itulah sering mengganggu gitu. Artinya kadang-kadang kaki itu ada kena kayu-kayu yang terdampar di sini itu.
Ini yang saya tahu dari 3 hari waktu saya semenjak ke sini sudah ada sampah-sampah begini. Tahun-tahun sebelumnya ada seandainya musim hujan.
Warga berharap pemerintah segera mengambil langkah cepat untuk mengatasi penyebaran sampah kiriman ini. Nandang Risada Astika, Bali.
But I was curious, the motivation, I mean, the initial sort of that got you going was because somebody says, you know, oh, it's not clean or it's you know, dirty, and that got you into thinking about how to make our environment prettier. But it is getting, you know, our impact in the environment with all the rubbish everywhere, the plastics everywhere, clogging up the rivers and the ocean. And is this something that's bothering you as well?
I think it bothers everybody who come across it. So I'm a keen cyclist, so sometimes I take my bicycle and go up the mountain, and sometimes I go between the rice fields. And it's a curious thing that you see actually rubbish everywhere. But then I'm trying to think why. And the answer is quite simple. For example, here in Bali, everybody, including me, like to snack. And in the past, people would snack with fruit and vegetables, and the rubbish will disintegrate naturally.
Yeah, it's organic.
Exactly. And now we snack on sugary with plastic bag, and people just keep the same habits. And
they throw them away under a tree or in the river.
Yeah, they don't think about it. And like anything, we are going through a period of very fast change all over the world. And the perception and the action of people normally follow after, and more people are getting aware of that, and instead of putting the rubbish anywhere, they take it with them and then dispose of it correctly. So definitely we're going in the right way, and I think that if people have gardens in front of their houses, when they grow it themselves, they will try to keep them clean as well.
Yes, I think because when you have something pretty, you want to keep it and look after it, you know, and then if you see something dirty, you know, the tendency is, okay, well, this is a dirty place, so you end up throwing.
Yeah.
But this is happening around the world, isn't it?
Absolutely.
There's us polluting the planet, and soon by 2050 they said there'll be more plastic in the ocean than there's fish.
Yes.
And everything. So in a way, I mean, even without the competition, each of us can do something.
Absolutely. It's
to really take care of the environment.
Absolutely. And taking care of the environment is taking care of ourselves. It's show love and courtesy to each other.
Has it always been something that you're interested in, you know, nature and, you know, being part of it?
Very much so. Very much so.
So what's your background? Are you you know, nature lover? You're
yes,
someone who
when I lived in London and I was a normal business person, I used to go and sell to customers, and I come home and just to kind of transform the working days into the leisure time. The first thing I would do is water my plants at home, and just enjoy all the flowers.
Plants.
Yes, exactly, and just enjoy the flowers. and it was so relaxing, and I never saw it as a chore. I did it because I enjoyed it.
So, do you feel now that Bali is your home? I mean,
Absolutely,
is your
absolutely.
Spirit.
Just walking in the street and people inviting me for a cup of coffee to their home, cycling and stopping in a warung and starting to talk to everybody, coming across a school and all the kids running to you and taking a selfie with you. I mean, it's just beautiful.
What about the support of the local government, for example, especially when you're doing an initiative such as this? Have they been supportive of your efforts? I mean, have you had sort of, challenges in sort of getting even just building something like this? Was it hard or?
As a guest and as a person who also developed in other places, I would say that the support from that I personally received from central government and from the local government is incomparable. Doesn't mean that it doesn't from time to time have challenges, but to understand, you have to put it in comparison to other places. Indonesia, Indonesians and Bali are the most welcoming people. Just sitting in a place like that with an architect or with somebody from the government who help you with getting the plan correct according to the regulation, it's incomparable. I mean, look what an office it is. And I found that everybody is there to contribute in helping you to achieve your dreams. And especially if you have an original dream that people believe in it, it's just wonderful.
And when you talk to your friends all over the world about Bali or about Indonesia, I mean, a lot of people, especially, they've heard of Bali, but they think Indonesia is part of Bali. I mean, what do you say? And especially when you meet your guest who says, "No, I'm not coming back because it's not clean," for example.
No.
What would you say?
No, the guest didn't say they're not coming.
Okay.
In fact, they are coming back next month.
Okay, that's good.
They love Bali. They are in love with
great.
Bali. They just said their friends won't, but they are coming. They're all coming. They're all coming.
So what sort of message would you like to get
normally,
across?
what I do is just send them one photo on WhatsApp of my office, me working in an office here, and they said, I wish I was in that office. And you don't need any words. I think that the reason that so many people coming here, the vast majority of people fall in love with Bali, and some people because they want a part of it. So some just buy a T-shirt or a little gift from the market, and some people stay. They're so overwhelmed, and that's why it's the whole world is coming.
Yes, and I can't wait when the whole of Bali, and I hope most of those people living in Bali and having houses there would start, creating wonderful gardens in front of their house. And be in front of the house is very important, right? Because then you can see it.
Exactly, and actually you do have a lot of incredibly beautiful houses, and most houses are very beautiful. But sometimes, in some cases, you don't just because people are busy and they didn't think about it. And just by creating the awareness and the ability to participate in something that unites us all, hopefully it will change and improve a lot of people's life.
Can schools, for example, or puras or banjars or...
So that is the next stage.
Okay.
We are jumping here.
Okay.
Yes.
So at the moment it's for individuals.
At the moment it's for individuals, but ultimately my plan is to have some very interesting things.
Yes, because then it'll be nice to have government offices, and in front is all sorts of beautiful flowers, and it would also help revive the local economy. Selling with the growing of more plants and flowers. So once again, the website is
hgifc.com.
hgifc.com. So anyone who wants to participate, jadi bisa registrasi di HGIFC, the Hanging Garden International Flower Competition.com. Siapapun bisa registrasi, tidak dipungut bayarannya, it's all free.
Absolutely.
Bisa menanam apa saja di depan rumah. Jadi yang penting itu adalah di halaman depan rumah, bukan di belakang, di halaman depan. Jadi semua orang bisa melihat dan menikmatinya. Apa saja boleh. The imagination is the limit, basically. It doesn't matter how big, how small, bisa besar, bisa kecil, tapi yang penting menanam, ya, sehingga membuat rumahnya lebih indah lagi. Nah, kompetisi ini akan berlangsung sampai akhir tahun, sampai bulan Desember. So the announcement for the awards, the winning announcement will be at the end of the year, in December. Dengan hadiahnya ada 1 miliar ya bagi yang beruntung. What about the other? You said that 10 runner-ups. I mean, what do they get? I mean,
they get personal satisfaction and being part of something very special. You mean the competitors?
Yes.
Oh, that is still a surprise, of course. That is still a surprise.
You
mean the awards?
10,
the awards. That's still a surprise, of course.
The top 10. But there'll be one winner. Ya, ada satu pemenang yang besar, and it will be judged very fairly.
Of course.
By experts and artistic experts. So mudah-mudahan ya ini akan membuat Bali yang sudah cantik, yang sudah indah, lebih cantik, lebih indah lagi, dan kita lebih peduli ya terhadap lingkungan kita. I think when you have something beautiful, when you have something pretty, you want to look after it more.
You cherish it, of course. It gives you pleasure, and you want to maintain and sustain it.
Okay, and now let's look forward to the launch, and I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful event as well, and it's certainly something that we're all looking forward to seeing, and let's hope it's a big success.
And thank you so much for coming to Hanging Gardens of Bali.
It really is absolutely beautiful, luar biasa di sini. Kita merasa menyatu dengan alam ya. We were even rained on. Kita bahkan tadi berhujan-hujan ya.
Yes.
So Nir, again, once again, thank you so much, and it's a wonderful initiative. I love talking to people with passion about nature, flowers, and just looking after the environment. It's
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, let's drink to that.
Thank you. Thank you.